Hello, everyone, and welcome. We are in the ice caves today. I am playing Barbarian because I didn't think there were enough barbarians in Dark and Darker. Just kidding. I find the Barbarian to be probably one of the least exciting classes to play, but it's my last character that's not level 20. And I figured while I was just learning the map anyway, I might as well be leveling. So here I am on the horribly broken Barbarian in solos. And it's ridiculous. More on that in a minute. But I wanted to talk a little bit about the new Ice Caves maps. I've had a couple days to kind of ruminate, get a couple runs in with actual server stability, and the pros. I think the level design here, the module design that Iron Mace has employed here, is inspired. I think it's really strong. I think the mob density is deliberate, and I think it's a really solid choice. I think it synergizes well with a lot of the abilities and effects that the mobs can put on you. And I think this is really healthy. Yes, it's difficult. I know there's a lot of players out there who are struggling and calling for nerfs. I hope Iron Mace kind of ignores them. I don't think this really needs to be nerfed. The only thing that's questionable is some of the spawn locations will plop you down in a module, and you can have 1 to 3 mob AIs on you immediately from the jump. So just a public service announcement, if you're loading into the ice caverns, you need to be at keyboard because things can get hairy really fast. But going back to the design, I think a lot of these modules are really distinct, and even though some of them kind of borrow inspiration from other tile sets that we've seen in Dark and Darker, the Pyramid Room comes to mind, they're distinctly different. I think a couple of triumphs that we should celebrate here with regard to Iron Mace's design for the ice caves is that every module has an exploration element. It forces you to kind of move methodically to find the kind of hidden nooks and crannies for each map, and you're generally rewarded for doing so. You'll find lion's head or golden chests scrolled away in some of the oddest locations. You got ladders to deal with. They're experimenting with new extraction types, and I got to tell you, the first time I extracted on one of the raft extracts, that was something else. That's a crazy little bit of design that they've thrown in there. I really like it. But one of the things I think they've done deliberately, and I think it's really smart, is they've made it much more difficult to spawn rush other players. The mob density is a huge contributor to that, but also the kind of effects, the status effects, and the attacks that the mob AI can put on you, particularly the attack speed and movement speed slows that most of the frozen critters have. I think they're really solid. They're really good for the game. I think how most of these modules play out is, regardless if you're on in a white lobby or a high roller, when you load in, you have about half the raid duration to explore and clear a module. What is this rogue thinking? So he just pops out around the corner and throws a dagger at me. Maybe he doesn't know I'm a barbarian. Mr. Rogue, have you seen a barbarian before? Have you fought a barbarian before? This level of aggression just cannot stand. Oh, this is the new club. I find it's very effective. Okay, riveting barbarian gameplay. You saw there how I held down W and left click. Great job. Okay, so going back to what I was saying around the modules, between the mob abilities, attacks, and debuffs that they can put on you, and the density, it is incredibly dangerous to just kind of blithely run through a module to get to another. You have to be extremely careful or have a very good plan about what to do on the other side. And I think this is extremely healthy for the game. Now, if you're looking to spawn rush people, you have to have a very detailed plan about how you're going to negotiate the AI, how you're going to get there, and not have half an instance worth of mobs following behind you. You might get a kill, but you'll die right after. So mobs being able to go up and down surfaces and fall off ledges is an incredibly good change. So there's this one room, and I'm not here right now, but I was in it last night. And the kobolds, the little ice goblins, will literally jump off the edge to come and attack you. So I had kobolds raining down on my head. At the same time, I'm trying to clean them up with the Spyhander. Two rogues decided to jump me. They had drug a bunch of kobolds from another module into where I was fighting, and they literally jumped down on me with the kobolds, and one of them just incidentally died to one of my Spyhander swings, and the other one got smart and invised and ran off. But the layouts are really good. I'm still getting to know the map a little bit. I find that in most of the runs I'm doing of Ice Caverns, I'm only going 1 or 2 modules max away from my spawn location. That's kind of the most traversal I've done of the map. I think that what this does is for players who are looking to alpha and have a plan, like they want to rush the gold hoard, that's kind of a high skill proposition. Like they're going to need to clear quickly, they're going to need to traverse very dangerous terrain to get there, and then they're likely to encounter other players who are looking to do the same thing there. At the same time, if you are not trying to alpha run the map, and you're looking just to get AP, get gold, get loot, or experience, if you keep your head down and farm the module you're in and move to the closest exit, it's very unlikely you're going to encounter another player. I'll tell you, I think I have run into maybe 2 players in a total of 10 runs while just minding my own business, because I'm not looking to exploit the Barbarian for kills or whatever. I'm not looking to crush people with what should be obviously a fairly broken class. I'm just trying to learn the maps and learn the modules, and just keeping my head down, not causing any trouble. I think I've run into 2 players who ended up in my module deliberately, who were looking for a fight. That rogue was one of them. So I think it's a really balanced, really interesting, level design that they've done with the overall map. I think it's a really good direction, and I hope they continue to expand on this as they flesh out, level 1 and level 3 of this raid. So right now, this is essentially level 2. It's what the crypts used to be when it was standalone. They're going to add a top level and a lower level to this raid. I'm really looking forward to it. If it's anything like what we've seen so far, I think we should all be very excited. A couple of notes for Iron Mace in this regard. One, don't change the mob density. I think it's really good. I know there's a bunch of people out there whining at you. My recommendation is to keep it as it is for now. My second recommendation is, can you please take Ice Caverns out of the forced map rotation and just let us queue up for it regardless of our group size? Like, it's not going to end the world. Like, I want to run this, and I want to only run this, which means right now I am running this when it's the solo map, I'm running it when it's the duo map, and I'm running it when it's the trios map, because I want to play more Ice Caves. And I'm sure there's a lot of other people like that. Like, just allow us to have some choice over what we're playing. And I mean, I don't know what value you're getting out of forcing us to run content that we'd rather not run right now. So, like, I think that's where your focus needs to be. Allow us, to play what we want. But with regard to the overall map design, like, great job, guys. I think this has a lot of potential. I love the verticality. I'm enjoying the ladders. I'm really glad we can't use abilities on ladders. I think that would be super broken, like the Barbarian. And yeah, just some thoughts here. If you enjoyed this rant, please like and subscribe. It helps me a ton. And if you want to hear more Barbarian bashing, well, then please check back in. I'm continuing to play the thing that I really think is sort of silly. Like, here's the thing. Like, speed is power in any game. And Barbarian has the most speed, the highest damage, and the most hit points. So you have to solve for that inside those parameters. I know he's trash in threes, but he's hell on wheels solo. Anyway, until next time, Koopa out.